Is this it? Is this going to be the best breakdown? I just kind of want the cliff notes. Is it tier 1 Sleepy in the prime carpet and resub Candace? Yeah? Okay.
Here's everything that Apple announced at today's fall iPhone event. Starting off with the Apple Watch Series 8. The new Apple Watch Series 8 looks pretty identical to the Series 7, but Apple did add a few new features like the new temperature sensor to assist women's health even further. Now, this new temperature sensor would work with the cycle tracking app to improve accuracy, and Apple says a nighttime wrist temperature would be a great way to get an accurate reading.
Isn't that good
and
for
it would better detect
everyone's health,
ovulation.
not just women?
It actually detects changes as small as 0.1 degrees Celsius, and it even does a reading every 5 seconds. The Series 8 can also notify for potential cycle deviations. Crash detection also made its way to the Series 8, and it can detect if you've been in a severe crash. This new feature can automatically detect impact and dial 911, as well as alert your emergency contacts. Front, side impact, rear end collision, and rollovers are the 4 areas of which Apple uses to detect a crash, alongside some new sensors built into
tier 1
the watch.
OC.
It still has the same battery life of around 18 hours, but Apple did introduce the long-rumored low power mode, which can now give users 36 hours of battery life on one single charge. This will disable features like always on display, but preserves important features like car crash detection while on low power mode. Apple Watch Series 8 comes in 4 colors: Midnight, Starlight, Silver, and Product Red, as well as 3 stainless steel offerings of silver, gold, and graphite. Pre-orders begin right now and will be on sale next week, September 16th. It starts at $399 for the GPS and $499 for the cellular model. Next up, Apple briefly touched on the SE, which received a little bit of an update. It first comes in new colors. Now,
I've never had a smartwatch. Are they actually worthwhile? The only one I know with one is Tiana, but it doesn't seem like it does anything super special. Overwhelmingly, no. It's kind of cool because it gets like a heart rate, but other than that, that's the only thing I've really seen it do. There's a prime lamp and the resub angel. Good for gym people, maybe. Yeah, like heart rate. Does it do more than that? Like gym related, I mean. It can track your steps. Thanks to the resub Meadow. Tells time, true, good point. Thanks to resub Connor. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like that'd be something I care much about. Let's go to the phone. Actually, here, the AirPods.
It's jam-packed with a new H2 chip and a ton of overall sound quality improvements on the inside, but on the outside, it looks largely the same. We do get improvements to active noise cancellation, which is, according to Apple, now 2 times better than the previous version. There's a new extra small ear tip included with the small, medium, and large tips that we got before. Transparency also received some improvements thanks to the H2 chip, launching a new adaptive transparency mode that automatically adjusts the levels to your surroundings. And the force sensor stem on the AirPods Pro finally got updated to adjust the volume with a simple swipe up and down.
I've never used AirPods.
Something that I am absolutely excited for and is well worth the upgrade in my opinion. AirPods Pro come with also,
there we go,
really did focus a lot on the larger display as being kind of the new part of this new iPhone 14, which I guess is new because it's an entirely different size device for the non-Pro iPhones. The new iPhone 14 does come in Midnight, Starlight, Blue, Purple, and Product Red. The iPhone 14 Plus is said to offer the best battery life ever on an iPhone, and performance is what we expected it was going to be. Apple is actually sticking with the A15 Bionic chip that was found in last year's iPhone 13 Pro models.
Let's go,
the only good thing about
chip.
that is that you actually are getting the 5-core GPU version, which again was only in the Pro models from last year. Apple updated its 2 cameras on the 14 and 14 Plus, so you're getting a newer version of the 12-megapixel main camera that features...
Are these meaningful? Like these right here. This feels so negligible. Only 2 people said yes so far, so overwhelmingly no. Like, it doesn't feel like that'd be worth an entire new phone just for like a slight pixel upgrade and aperture upgrade. There's a resub LG Tex. JC Hockey in the Prime Hot Pocket. Thanks, Resub Buffalo. If photographers want a good camera, just buy one, not an iPhone. I don't think they're for photographers. Like, I can't imagine like an actual photographer's taking their professional pictures on iPhone. At least, not a photographer worth their salt. I feel like it's just for the best possible like Instagram posts. Apple's marketing to people like filmmakers for some reason. Yeah. I mean, everyone knows all the great filmmakers start with TikToks with their iPhones. Get a 4K shot of your lunch. Yeah, it's kind of hype. I mean, I appreciate the camera upgrades because now watching public freakout videos is crisp, like high definition. You no longer have like terribly shit quality and very pixelated, so I appreciate it. But I would never bother going from, I guess, my 11 to a 14. It doesn't seem worth at all. These are some moldy, bad, and cornflakes, and tea and simple.
There's a larger sensor, sensor shift OIS, and a 1.9 aperture for better low light improvement. Ultra wide is also available, but Apple didn't really mention any specific improvements to that sensor.
Oh my god.
But I guess it has been improved. The true depth camera on the front has been improved for better low light performance and now has autofocus for the first time. Photonic Engine is a new engine that Apple developed to help with low light photos, which apparently offers 2 times better low light photography on the front, ultra and wide angle lenses, and there's also a new mode for
so is it
video,
just cameras?
which is actually called action mode, which improves stabilization, and apparently you'll get gimbal level stabilization, which is a bold claim that I cannot wait to test out. All US models will no longer have a SIM card tray and will solely rely on eSIM, and the iPhone 14 will also have the crash detection that feature that we mentioned on the Apple Watch Series 8. Apple also announced its long-rumored emergency SOS via satellite connectivity feature that can now notify emergency services whenever you do not have cell service. This would allow your iPhone to connect to a satellite that's orbiting our Earth, and the phone will actually show you where to point and where to move to keep in contact with that satellite, and you'll be able to send and receive messages in order to kind of get help if you need it. You can also, in less dire situations, share...
I mean, that's pretty cool. I feel like in the entire year that the 14 will exist before it's inevitably cycled out for the 15, I feel like that might get used twice across the entire globe. But I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I could absolutely see the use of it. The emergency SOS is a paid service. Oh my god, wait, what? I might have missed him say that. So it's not even like an actual free feature. You have to pay for your SOS service. Ooh. It's free for the first 2 years. Okay. I guess if you're going to do any like dangerous exploring in the middle of nowhere like the Blair Witch Woods, make sure to do it within the next 2 years while you still have your free service for the rescue department. I think it was Prime Jester, Polly, and the resub Siren, and Bismuth. Seems useful if you, like me, have AT&T and your coverage always sucks. Oh, does AT&T have bad coverage? AT&T sucks. There you go. Thanks a Prime Soda.
share your location manually via the Find My app while connected to the satellite. This service will actually be included for free for 2 years with any iPhone 14 and will launch in November. The iPhone 14 will actually start at $799 and the 14 Plus will start at $899 and will be available for pre-order on September 9th, with orders shipping next week for the standard 14 model, and October 7th is when we can expect the 14 Plus to arrive. And last but not least, we have the new iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for. Let's take a peek.
This year, with the new color being a purple option. And the new pill-shaped cutout is the first thing that your eyes are going to be drawn to, and actually comes with some useful improvements based around it. I actually never thought that we'd see a cutout like this be useful, but Apple is calling it its dynamic island and was actually a pretty big part of the show. It can expand into different sizes when alerts are presented, and it works entirely across the system, like muting, starting a charge, or connecting AirPods. You can even see album art, and it's completely interactive. Live activities work seamlessly with Dynamic Island, which is actually pretty cool, and developers can take advantage of Dynamic Island for its apps and services. The new display comes with even thinner borders, the dynamic island, and a brighter screen of up to 1600 nits of peak brightness, which is the same level as the Pro Display XDR. And if you're outdoors, you can push that brightness up to a max 2000 nits of peak outdoor brightness. Apple also finally made the debut of Always On Display, as we were actually expecting this to happen, and it is modeled after the new lock screen from iOS 16. So the time, widgets, and live activities are always available. Wallpaper photos can be dimmed but preserve skin tones, and you can keep track of those live activities without
trivial
having to touch
changes.
your iPhone. The A16 Bionic chip is inside the new iPhone 14 Pro, and it's built off of a 4nm process and has a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU with 50% more bandwidth for better gaming improvements. The new cameras on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max have finally received a pretty massive upgrade. This new system comes with a new 48 megapixel main sensor leading the way with quad pixel sensor. It's actually 65% larger than the iPhone 13 Pro and has a second-gen sensor shifting OIS and 24mm focal length. The new main camera has 2 times low light improvements compared to the iPhone 13 Pro.
I just feel like every picture you'll ever take with your phone doesn't need to be professional grade. I don't know, this doesn't really seem worth it. Again, a photographer is not going to use an iPhone for their actual work. It's just not going to happen. They'll have a legitimate camera for it. It just really doesn't feel worth for the extra cost. There's a resub ether. And the bit sways. But what about the professional grade dick pics? I feel like that'd just be counterintuitive. I feel like a good dick pic needs to be blurry so there's still room for interpretation. Yeah, there's still a little mystery there. Leaves a little to the imagination.